Hello, my name's Matt, and this is Grainy Brews. It's good to be back. It's really good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wanted to do a video about a recent shoot I did with Ebony. She's a local model in Melbourne, and been trying to explore portraiture a little bit deeper than I have in the past. I wanted to do a shoot, like a test shoot, with the worst cameras that I own. Sounds weird, I know. This idea, this concept, came about because I noticed that I wasn't really using cameras that are not what I would consider professional. This is a way of me just taking a step back, not being so serious for once in my life, and just having fun with the process. So going into this shoot, I wanted to be pretty simple. I just had one light because that's all I can afford. And I just wanted one backdrop because, again, this is a very limited budget of $0, and I didn't really want to have to blow out the budget on anything too expensive, you know. If I could go back and do it again, maybe with a bit more flexibility, I would have another light to keep the backdrop well lit, because it's very dark on one side of all the photos, as you will see. Because these cameras that I'm working with don't have flash sync, I had to use a continuous light, so yeah, I guess if I was going to do it next time, I would probably just use cameras that actually have flash sync. But obviously, again, referring to the budget, we work with what we have. We also decided to go outside towards the end of the shoot. There's like a local park nearby. The first camera that I used was the Holga 120 CFN. It is a camera that is no stranger to the category of photography. Sometimes it can work. Sometimes it really does have a vibe that is all of its own. And some artists are very skillful utilizing that particular look. I am not one of those people. It sounds so dodgy.
Crisp.
I hate it. That is
There we go.
numero uno.
Wonderful.
I was going into the shoot, I had this idea of what the Holga would produce and the kind of look that I would get. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was pretty surprised with the results. The shots that I got back were, well, number one, most of them were actually like semi in focus. Some of them are actually really like spot on in focus. And if you know anything about the Holga, you have the very innovative option of choosing between one person, 3 people, 7 people, and a tree, or a mountain or something like that. And yeah, that's not really much to work with in terms of your focusing, because even the viewfinder, like most of the photos, there's like a lot of dead air in like one side of the frame. And that's because what I was seeing in the viewfinder was not necessarily translating with what the lens was seeing. So I guess bear that in mind if you're ever shooting with the Holga. With the right lighting and the right film, I feel like you can get a really good look. Like, it's very flat and very classical. It's not really what you would consider a Holga shot, I guess, at least for some of them. But some of them do lean into the Holga look, which I really like. But then there's others that are just, you know, they're just a bit of a mess. It's just interesting that the photos came out the way they did. I was really not expecting them to look quite as good as they did. The second camera that I used is no stranger to people who have seen my overland track video. I used the Olympus Tough TG1. Again, like, it's limited, like it's JPEG only, so you don't have a lot of flexibility in the files. And I tried to lean into that by shooting with one of the art filters, which are pre-installed on the camera. I chose grainy black and white, and I wanted to match the look, obviously, with the shots that I was getting on the Holga. 3, 2, 1. The results are, again, I'm actually quite surprised by this camera. It's really tiny, it's old school, but it really just works. Like, I've never really missed focus with this camera. Like, it just seems to just pick up the subject straight away, knows exactly what I want, bada bing, bada boom. The photos themselves, like, they're not very pliable. Like, when you're editing them, there's not a lot of play, so you have to be really careful with how you present them and the kinds of edits that you want to do with them. It's something you can't really do anything crazy. But I really enjoy the look that the grainy black and white gives. It's filmic, which I appreciate for a digital camera, and I think because it's a bit older, maybe that leans into it. Like, I'm no sensor expert when it comes to this kind of thing, but it's a very nice look. I got the camera for free from a family friend, and I mean, I'm getting my money's worth. What can I say? It's a fantastic little camera. It's also good, I noticed, when you're shooting with film. If you have like a little point and shoot camera, I guess you could use a phone, but if you have a point and shoot camera like that, it kind of gives the model a bit of feedback for what they're getting and how they're doing. And I think that it's a very good way of visualizing what you want as a photographer to then show the model, hey, this is what I'm after, and then you can get the photo on film if you want, which is, it will be something that I use later on in my career as a portrait photographer. Now, there is one more camera that I have in this shoot. This bad boy right here. This is the re-released Nokia 3310. It has about 2 megapixels in that lovely little sensor right there. Yeah, it's a terrible camera, what can I say? Yeah, look, the image quality on this is where I draw the line. It's mushy, and yeah, there's nothing really that appealing about it to me. All right, here we go. Using the mobile phone, baby. Here we go. I'll keep this one closer. 3, 2. Actually, can I get you to take a step that way and then take a step forward? Yep. Awesome. 3, 2, 1. There's probably some madman or mad person, mad woman out there that could utilize this look in a specific way, but honestly, there is not really much that I find appealing about this camera. Number one, the phone itself is not really that nice to use. And number two, the camera is just, like, there's nothing really that fun about it. The flash is awful. If it had a better flash, I feel like at least that it would have that going for it, you know? But even that, it's just not really that fun to use. It makes a very awful noise when you take a photo, and there's like a huge delay. It's not a very intuitive camera to use. Yeah, look, I will never use that camera again for anything, but it was interesting to see what it would be like and what it would feel like and look like to make images on the Nokia. In between, when I was getting all these photos, I also used the Fujifilm X-T4, and I just got some baseline images, I guess, to see what it would look like with a high-end digital camera. Look, in summation, I feel like this was an interesting exercise, and I'm glad I did it. Seeing the results, especially from the Holga, like, it was funny how our perceptions of what a bad camera truly is have shaped the way we perceive images and the process and being taken seriously. Because from what I could tell, Ebony really liked the shots, and I feel like most people would enjoy the shots that I got here as well. And yes, you could absolutely get a look that is very similar to the look I got from the Holga and the Olympus by simply using the Fujifilm and editing and blah blah blah. It showed me that I can still have fun getting images from cameras that are not my main professional cameras. Yeah, it would probably be a little bit weird to rock up to a shoot with the Olympus, or especially the Nokia. But I think at the same time that can also separate you from other people who are in your field if you think differently and approach things differently. And if you're really good to work with, then you're probably going to get hired again. And so yeah, that's kind of why I did it, I think. Just as a way of letting loose and being a little bit weird and different. I don't know why I'm dancing. Anyway, I hope this was interesting, and I reckon I was just babbling on for the past 10 minutes or however long this video is going to be. But if you liked what you saw and you want to see more of it, hit that bloody subscribe button and leave the video a like, and I'll see you very soon. P.S. I'm going to try and upload every 2 weeks now. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but we'll see how we go. Peace out.